Hey guys, welcome back to my kitchen. Today we are making keto peanut butter chocolate chip cookies. Let's go. First we're going to make some chocolate chips. I'm going to set up a double boiler with a saucepan and a large heat-proof bowl, into which I'm going to place 4 tablespoons of cocoa powder. I'm using Dutch process, but you can use any unsweetened cocoa powder. Next, we're going to add half a teaspoon of instant coffee. Coffee really complements the flavor of chocolate. Next, we're going to add 3 teaspoons of good quality coconut oil. And now for the sweetener, we're going to add 1 teaspoon of erythritol and just start mixing. If the mixture is looking too wet, you can add an additional teaspoon of cocoa powder. Just keep mixing it until it forms a chocolate paste. Add 1 pinch of sea salt and let's bring it over to the double boiler. Stir the mixture over the heat for a few minutes until the cocoa powder is completely saturated by the coconut oil and everything is well mixed. Bring out your favorite chocolate mold and then fill each cavity about a third of the way. What we're looking to make is not full-size chocolates, but rather small-sized chocolate chip discs. Clean any excess chocolate with a wet paper towel and then into the freezer it goes. While the chocolate chips are setting, we can preheat the oven to 180 degrees Celsius and start work on our cookies. The recipe requires 3 egg yolks, so we're going to begin by separating 3 eggs into yolks and whites. I think the easiest way to do it is to just swirl the eggs around in your hands and let the whites drip through your fingers, messy as it may be. The egg whites can be stored in the fridge for later use. Shout out here to Gully Bites for providing me this awesome container with their last food delivery. Check them out on Instagram at Gully Bites. This is not a sponsored video, I'm just a fan and I think you should be too. Now we're going to weigh out 21 grams of almond flour and put those into our mixing bowl. Next we're going to measure out 60 grams of erythritol, followed by the star of the show, 120 grams of creamy sugar-free peanut butter. Once you have all the ingredients measured out, we can combine them all together in a mixing bowl. Once you add the eggs, the cookie dough will start to come together almost immediately. Keep mixing until it is uniformly combined. Our homemade chocolate chips will melt at room temperature, so we have to work very quickly. Pull them out of the freezer and demold them as quickly as possible, and then proceed to give them a nice chop. The warmth from your hands is enough to begin the melting process, so handle the chocolate as little as possible. Add the chips into the cookie dough and roll them around a little so that they're all pressed into the dough. It was at this point that I had the afterthought of adding some roasted walnuts, so I quickly took 2 to 3 tablespoons of walnuts, put them in a sheet pan and into the oven for about 8 minutes. Once they were well roasted, I took them out, gave them a quick chop and added them straight to the cookie dough. As you can see, my chocolate chips have melted quite a bit, but we're still going to have nice gooey chocolatey sections in our cookies. Once the walnuts are fully mixed into the cookie dough, we're going to take a parchment or silicone-lined baking sheet and then pinch out golf ball-sized pieces of our cookie dough and then spread them out evenly across the baking sheet. We're just going to take care to make sure all the golf balls are roughly the same size, so we just pinch away from the larger ones and add to the smaller ones. Using the backside of a fork, we're going to press down on each cookie, creating some ridges which are going to become nice and crispy in the oven. This process will also help flatten the cookie. Since there are no leavening agents in the cookies will not expand much. We're going to hit the cookies with a sprinkle of flaky sea salt and then into the oven they go for 8 to 12 minutes. About halfway through the bake, I'm going to rotate the tray because I know that one side of my oven tends to get hotter than the other. So I want to get a nice even bake across the entire cookie sheet. It's been about 10 minutes and the cookies are looking good. They're ready to come out. So I'm just going to pull them out of the oven and place them on a wire rack to allow for quicker cooling. The cookies must be allowed to cool for at least 10 minutes before you attempt to handle them because they will fall apart. These cookies are not meant to be eaten fresh out of the oven. They have to be slightly cool. This is one of my go-to recipes. I make it at least a few times every month. I hope you guys will enjoy this recipe. It's super easy and a quick way to get some gooey peanut butter cookies on the table in no time. Thanks for watching. Please like, follow, and subscribe, and share this video with your friends if you think they'd be interested. And as always, be safe, be happy, and eat well.